My name is Cameron, and I am the Director of the Labor and Employer Cooperation and Education Trust. What that does is it is there to care for the relationships between the unions, who have the members who are our workforce, and the contractors who are signatory in agreement with profits shared through contracts negotiated in ways that ensure that our employers can still make money. Because if they're not making money, what are we doing here? But also in a way that lets us get some buy-in, because it creates jobs where we can work safely, like I just said, with good paychecks. It provides the best health care, the best. And it installs a family in the community. Or at least it should. One of the things I'm finding out is that the relationships that it only makes sense that they're there are not there, because historically not everybody has felt welcome. And as we understand, as we grow as human beings, that things keep us from being able to see each other where we are. A lot of those things are the parts of society that we're born into. There, I'll put Bird in the mix. This one is my friend DJ. This one is my friend Mikey. This is my baby girl Donna. This is my sweet boy Vince. This is what I'm working on controlling. And this is a rusty piece of something that I found in the creek behind the Elms Hotel. This is a Donna Sipe original. Before I am the director, which is something that I've been hired into, I have been trying to work on the past few years to just be here. And some of you may understand that sometimes life gets overwhelming. We get swallowed up by what we are very concerned about. We get attached to the things in the ways we think they should be. And the work we do with ourselves to make sure that we find that, hey, I am not Cameron the director. I am this person who was born into this experience, right? This human being. And I am privileged to have the jumping off point that I do. And when I say the privileged word, I want you to notice that I'm not scared. I'm not scared of my privilege. Because here's what it applies for me. Here's what it allows for me. And this is what I hope that you can find for yourself too, is my privilege actually becomes my obligation and my opportunity to fulfill that obligation. And since I'm a tall, straight white guy in the middle of the Midwest, and I also understand that we are born into this world, and that Jesus wanted us to be in the world but not of the world, I was born into a very conservative Christian family, which I could sit here and ding on it if you wish. I certainly did in my past. But what it allows me to do is it allows me to know that my pendulum has swung a long way. And that pendulum swing is my perspective. And that with my perspective, as long as I'm able to get on the other side of my suffering, on the other side of the things that grind my gears so bad, is I can use my perspective to serve those around me and to care for them. And that's why I am thankful to be in my position. I'm thankful to the conversations that I'm invited to. I'm thankful for the people that are willing to listen to me because they know I'm willing to listen to them. I'm thankful for the opportunity to have the benefit of the doubt, which the benefit of the doubt is something that a lot of us think it's something, but I'd like to pose it in a different way. The benefit of the doubt with me and my friends is that if I were to have a moment in my life, they give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm always doing the best that I can. So if I have something going on in my life, and for instance, that something, not for instance, I'll just say, like when you have stuff go in your life, if you're struggling, and this is how I do my best to see other people too, is if that's the best they can handle, then let's figure out why. Why is that person so deep in that thought? And if that person is struggling so much that the best they can do is not safe enough to be in your life, then wish them well and move on gracefully. But the benefit of the doubt that my friends give me, that I love so much and that I cherish so much because they know it's a shared energy, is that if for something's going on and somebody's off, one of us is off, that the other person says, okay. You look into their eyeballs and you see the same energy that you feel, and you say, hey, in there, are you all right? And when you ask that question, you legitimately want to listen to the person's heart who is clearly struggling in something that it's okay. It has to be okay. Because you got to get to the other side of it. And it's your experience that leads you to the other side, that allows you to see the way this world digests. All I really need to know in life is that my friends and family, the ones that I know I am able to keep close because they're willing to share that with me, is that they care for me. I can be successful on my own. I can show up for myself. That's not something I've always been able to say, so that's one of the lessons that I've had to go back and learn. In my past, before, if I get jumbled over my words, it wasn't because I was bad with words. It's because I didn't have the confidence in myself to let them flow in a way that they describes and delivers the message of the energy that I'm trying to explain. The energy that we feel when we're in good conversation. The energy we feel when we're in a safe presence. The energy we feel when a person grabs our hand and holds it. The energy we feel when we know we can trust that if for some reason, something is wrong, that a person will grab us and lift our head above water for a moment by listening. That amazing energy is supposed to be described by the one word love. And that word gets tossed around a lot. And people share it because they get excited. Because something in somebody else will invite them out of an insecurity to peek around the bush and say, hey, you're having fun? I want to have fun with you. Right? Life is a game that's complex. We just grew up, but we didn't grow out. We look out, our egos look out. But what if we looked at it in the way that I think we're supposed to? And that is that we're supposed to get through this. purpose of language, the communication process, is to grow. Just the same way we're born into it. The same way that it's modeled for us. Sometimes poorly or sometimes absently. And we know that part of what we need is we need people to have understanding so they can take that understanding seriously, and hopefully they do. And sometimes when we see people not taking something seriously, it's because they either don't know the lesson, they don't know how to take it seriously because they haven't been modeled that, or maybe they're not in a good enough place in their life that they understand how that's even a viable thing. When I talk to people that are really struggling, some of the questions I ask them, their response is, I don't even understand how that would be possible. And it's possible through communication. We've learned to communicate through these things. Some of us are much better than each other, because whatever we've been investing our time in has included this. Some of us have been learning how to do concrete and build scaffold and build our community. And it's quite all right that those folks maybe aren't so good at this part. But guess what? I guarantee you don't know how to swing the hammer like they do. And that's okay. So let's support each other and move forward. One of the unfortunate things that has stopped in some areas of our community is, since we can't talk to each other, or since that we're so frustrated with what we perceive is going on in the world, is we stopped creating culture like we used to. And I say that because I think it's really important to remember that culture is created in the moment. Culture is created in the moment with a group of people who are connecting with themselves in whatever way possible: music, art, modern movement, classical movement. And understanding that the culture is whatever is accepted and embraced and nourished. Culture needs nourishment. And your nourishment that you get to receive back is culture. The investment. I'm so thankful for my culture. My culture is my friends. My culture is anything I'm invited to. And that's the best thing in the world to me. Because what I perceive from a child that's followed me through adulthood, because that's the way it works, is always wanting to be accepted. So the fact that I feel accepted is one of the greatest things I could ever experience in my life. Over any trip. Now, there are beautiful places in this world that I've been, and there are beautiful places in this world that I hope to have the opportunity to go to. And it's in those trips that I hope to encounter the people that live there. And I hope that whichever way that I'm taking to get there is respectful of the people that are there. But commercialism funds people. That's the other part of this thing, the thing I'm remembering. What drives our progression? What drives our evolution? What allows us to have the newest, next, greatest thing that makes our life either really more valuable, or our insecurity grabs a hold, and it is also in the way that we suffer, or at least the vehicle for it. Do you watch videos that stress you out? Do you watch videos that make you find yourself in a sense of, I need to have some sort of judgment about this? other than what's going on in the world actively? Because I would say that is the place to be. Get out of your phones. Go to an art fair. Go to a national park. Go to a regular park. Go for a walk. And on your walk, wave at the people that you see, because you understand that, hey, how you doing? There's a soul in there. Inside that organic being is another soul like myself. And it's through connection with them that if they're having a bad day, I might be able to set up a situation where they can feel heard. This is awful weird shit to be coming out of a rather large human being.